We are two artists, lifelong friends. One faces a sea, seeking nature's elements, the other catching the edge where man has built a life. Back to back, holding each other up, together in the world. How to collect the clear air, the sparkling water, the many little boats, the seaside atmosphere, and distill it all into one painting. How to pull that world onto one sheet of watercolour paper. The sense of freedom is overwhelming away from the confines of the painting studio. Big brushes, distant horizons, paint flowing. We could have been in the south of France. It's almost too hot. Taking little breaks to sit in the shade as the paint dries too quickly. The paint dries flat and hard and has to be animated with free, hand-drawn lines. Strong colours, abstract shapes, bright light. Seaside, harbour colours, rust and blue. It can't be contained within one composition, so many must be tried. A texture here, a boat edge there, a converging roof, impossible blue sky against the orange pantiles. Patina of colour contrasted with delicate lines. Harbour greens and golden orange seaweed stains. Cottages and sea touching at the edges, we stand side by side to collect our interest. So close is the man-made and the power of the sea. Too excited by the perfectness of it all, we rush into compositions on large sheets of paper, challenged by the wind and the strong sunlight. The colours deepen as the sky darkens, from pure cobalt blue to indigo. The tide is in, the sun is out and sparkling on the water. There are no pier jumpers today, it's too wild, too dangerous. Every now and then the salt spray comes over the harbour wall and paints the page with sea foam, lifting the semi-dried paint and creating unique textures. Nothing in the studio could produce this, I tell myself, and battle on with more paint, more marks, until another shower of salt water crashes over the wall. Setting up my easel against the power of the wind, I can't help but imagine the hazards of those rocks to the fishing boats searching for a passage to the harbour entrance. Working intensely, I try to capture the energy of the strength of nature before the tide races in, forcing me to retreat. Captivated by the sea, the inky paper absorbs the sun, compelled by the retelling of the waves to capture the soft rolling foam that belies the sea's power, and distill it into one reflection. Hundreds of gables to try and map out in a collage of paint textures, collected on the edge between the steep hillside and the shore. Thousands of feathers littering the tide line, a reminder of the wider world. What a paradise to paint, how to choose a composition. Every direction is another painting, so I collect again. A couple of perfect gables looking like twins, a collection of gables tied together, rising up in a perfect composition, an orange roof arranged amongst the blues and greys. The strong light highlights the colours in one direction and flattens them to greys if you look the other way. The water refracts everything, bouncing the light back against the gables and giving a crystalline sparkle. It's hot and calm and wild, an atmosphere of opposites where it's not hard to imagine the weather turning and the threat of the sea. The joy of creating beside the sea as every sense is channeled into the brush, the atmosphere influencing the drying times and paint quality, the salt soaking into the paper. The evening light starts to paint the gable roofs with a purple glow against the cobalt sky. Happily exhausted with working in the salty air, we go home satisfied with a good day's work. We spend the week listening to the roar of the waves, watching the pull of the tides, and finally hearing the silence of the sea.